Today I'm gonna tell you about true Roblox horror story. Part 1, the empty server. People always ask me why I don't play Roblox anymore. I usually laugh it off and tell them I got bored. It's easier than telling the truth. The truth sounds impossible. If someone had told me this story before it happened, I would have assumed they were making it up for attention. I would have left a sarcastic comment and moved on with my day. But now, I'm the one telling the story, and I still don't know if anyone will believe me. This happened almost a year ago. I remember the exact date because I took screenshots that night. Most of them disappeared later, but one survived. I still have it saved on an old hard drive that I refuse to plug into my computer anymore. Every few months I think about deleting it. Every time I try, I can't. It was a Friday night. Actually, it was already Saturday morning. The clock on my monitor read 1:58 a.m. Outside my apartment, everything was silent except for the occasional sound of rain tapping against the window. I had spent most of the evening editing a Roblox video for my YouTube channel. After exporting it, I wasn't tired enough to sleep, so I opened Roblox with no real plan. Usually I'd join a game with friends. That night, everyone was offline. The homepage was full of the same games I'd already played hundreds of times. Nothing looked interesting, so I decided to do something I hadn't done in years. I started searching for random, forgotten experiences. Games with almost no players. The kind of places that felt abandoned. There was something strangely relaxing about exploring maps that nobody visited anymore. Sometimes you'd find unfinished projects. Sometimes you'd find broken games abandoned by developers who had simply moved on. I had always enjoyed wandering through those forgotten places. They felt like digital ghost towns. I searched for words like forest, hotel, city, and night. Nothing caught my attention. Then I remembered an old rumor from years ago. Back when I first started playing Roblox, people used to say there were hidden experiences that didn't appear normally. Some players claimed strange games could only be found using random symbols instead of words. I always assumed it was just another internet myth. Still, I typed a single period into the search bar. Thousands of experiences appeared. Most had strange titles made of symbols. Others had no thumbnail at all. Some had visit counts in the single digits. I scrolled for several minutes. Then I saw it. It didn't have a name. Not a strange name. No name at all. The title space was completely blank. Its thumbnail was nothing more than a gray square. No description. No creator listed. No favorites. No likes. Only one thing stood out. One active player. I frowned. Games like this usually had 0 players. Curious, I clicked it. The game page loaded almost instantly. There were no badges, no game passes, no update log, no comments. The server list showed exactly one public server running for 3,417 hours. I blinked. That couldn't be right. Servers restart regularly, even if a game somehow stayed online for a long time. Thousands of hours without restarting made no sense. I refreshed the page. The number stayed the same. 3,417 hours. One player. No server region. No ping information. Just one lonely server that looked like it had never shut down. For some reason, my stomach tightened. It wasn't fear. More like the feeling you get before opening a door you know you shouldn't. I hovered over the green join button. For a second, I almost closed the page. Instead, I clicked it. The Roblox loading screen appeared. Usually the logo spins while everything loads. This time, nothing moved. The background stayed completely black. No loading icon, no music, no tips, no progress bar. I waited. 10 seconds, 30, a full minute. I thought the client had frozen. I reached for the keyboard to press Alt plus F4. Right before I did, the game loaded. I spawned inside a tiny concrete room. It looked unfinished. Gray walls, gray floor, gray ceiling. One flickering fluorescent light buzzed overhead. The room contained exactly one object, a metal door. No decorations, no windows, no furniture, no spawn pad. Nothing. The silence immediately stood out. Most Roblox games have background music or ambient sounds. This one had absolutely nothing. Not even footsteps echoed properly. It felt less like joining a game and more like entering an empty building after everyone else had gone home. I opened the player list. 2 names appeared, mine, and another player called Builder. No numbers.
No symbols.
No display name. Just Builder. I clicked their profile. An error appeared. Unable to load profile. I tried again. Same message. Strange. Maybe it was just another Roblox bug. I typed into chat. Hello? The message appeared normally. Nobody replied. After waiting another minute, I pushed open the metal door. The room led outside. What I saw made me stop walking. An entire city stretched across the horizon. Apartment buildings, gas stations, office towers, traffic lights, bridges. parks. Everything looked complete, yet something felt deeply wrong. There were no players, no NPCs, no animals, no movement. Cars sat abandoned in the middle of intersections. Some still had headlights turned on. Street lights flickered, despite the sky being bright enough to see. The buildings looked oddly familiar, like pieces copied from dozens of different Roblox games and stitched together. None of it matched. Nothing belonged. I walked down the nearest street. The sound of my footsteps seemed delayed, echoing a second after each step. Every storefront was open. Inside one convenience store, shelves were fully stocked. Soda bottles, snacks, cash registers. Everything looked ready for customers, except there weren't any. The cash register drawer was hanging open. Money was scattered across the counter, as if the cashier had left in the middle of a sale. Across the street, a city bus sat with its doors open. I climbed aboard. No driver, no passengers. The destination display simply read, home. Not a station name, just home. A chill ran through me. For the first time that night, I considered leaving the game, but curiosity pulled me deeper. I told myself it was probably an unfinished horror project. Someone had obviously spent a long time building this place. Maybe there would be monsters later. Maybe scripted events. Maybe I just hadn't triggered them yet. Still, something kept bothering me. This didn't feel like a horror game trying to scare me. It felt like a place that expected someone to come back, someone who never did. I kept telling myself there had to be a logical explanation. Maybe the developer wanted players to feel isolated. Maybe the empty streets were intentional. Maybe the missing sounds were part of the atmosphere. The more I tried to explain everything away, the less convincing those explanations became. I walked deeper into the city. Every building looked as if someone had been there only minutes earlier. A coffee cup still sat on a cafe table with steam rising from it. A television inside an apartment flickered with gray static. Traffic lights continued cycling from green to yellow to red. For roads that had no cars, it felt like time itself hadn't stopped. Only the people had disappeared. I opened the player list again. Just 2 names, mine and Builder. I typed another message.
Where are you?
Nothing, no reply. No typing indicator, no movement, just silence. I sighed. This is actually kind of impressive, I muttered to myself. I decided to record everything. If this was some hidden horror experience, maybe I could make a video about it later. I pressed the record hotkey. A small notification appeared in the corner of my screen. Recording started. That made me feel better. At least if something strange happened, I'd have proof. Or so I thought. As I continued walking, I noticed something odd about the sidewalks. There were footprints. Not the blocky Roblox footprints players sometimes imagined. These looked like faint marks pressed into layers of dust. One pair, fresh. They hadn't been there a second earlier. I crouched my camera closer. The prints continued down the sidewalk before turning into a narrow alley. I looked around. No players, no NPCs, nobody. Slowly I followed them. Every few seconds another footprint appeared. One, then another. As if someone invisible was walking only a few steps ahead of me. I stopped. The footprint stopped too. I waited. Nothing happened. I took 1 step forward. Another footprint appeared, exactly 3 meters ahead. My stomach tightened. Someone, or something, was matching my pace, always staying just out of sight. The alley opened into a small courtyard surrounded by apartment buildings. A children's playground stood in the middle. A swing gently moved back and forth. There wasn't any wind. The chains creaked softly, back and forth, back and forth. I stared at it for several seconds. Then it stopped. Instantly, like someone had grabbed it, the silence returned. I slowly backed away. Behind me, a basketball rolled across the concrete. I spun around. Nobody. The ball continued rolling until it reached my feet. Then it tipped over and stopped. My avatar automatically nudged it. It rolled away, by itself, against a slight incline. I frowned. Physics bug, I whispered. Even I didn't believe that. I entered the nearest apartment building. The lobby lights flickered. An old elevator sat at the end of the hallway. Its doors were already open. Inside, there was no floor panel, just smooth metal walls. I ignored it and took the stairs instead. The first apartment door was unlocked. Inside, everything looked perfectly normal. A couch, bookshelves, a kitchen, family photos. I walked closer to one of the framed pictures. There were 4 Roblox avatars smiling at the camera. Their faces had been scratched away. Every single one, not blurred, not missing, scratched, as if someone had deliberately erased them. A second picture showed the same family standing outside the apartment. Again, their faces were gone. Every photo in the apartment was exactly the same. The people remained. Only the faces had disappeared. A strange feeling settled over me. It was the kind of detail a developer wouldn't expect most players to notice. It felt personal, almost deliberate. I searched the bedroom. Nothing unusual. Then I opened the closet. Inside hung dozens of identical gray shirts. The exact same shirt worn by the player named Builder. Every hanger held one. Dozens, maybe hundreds. I slowly closed the door. My hand actually felt shaky on the mouse. Why was I getting nervous? It was just a game, right? As I left the apartment, a sound echoed somewhere above me. Footsteps. Slow.
Heavy.
Not mine. Someone was walking upstairs. I froze. They stopped. I waited. Nothing. I climbed one flight. The hallway was empty. Another flight. Still empty. Then, one floor above me, the footsteps returned. 1, 2, 3. Always directly overhead. No matter how many floors I climbed, whoever was making those sounds stayed exactly one level higher. Never closer, never farther away. Watching, waiting. After climbing nearly 10 floors, I finally reached the rooftop. The footsteps stopped. The roof was empty, or so I thought. In the center stood a single folding chair, facing away from me. Someone was sitting in it. My heart jumped. Finally, another player. Hello? I called through voice chat. No response. I walked closer. The figure didn't move. Gray shirt, blue pants, classic Roblox body. The same clothes as Builder. When I was only a few steps away, the chair slowly rotated. Empty. No player. No avatar. Nothing. The chair had been occupied seconds ago. I was sure of it. A notification appeared in chat. Builder joined voice chat. Before I could react, a quiet breathing sound filled my headset. Not robotic, not distorted, human. Someone was breathing, very slowly, very calmly. I spoke first. Who's there? The breathing stopped. For several seconds, absolute silence. Then a voice whispered so quietly I almost couldn't hear it. You finally came back. I frowned. What? You're later than last time. My blood ran cold. I've never been here before. The voice laughed. Not loudly, not like someone trying to scare me. It sounded disappointed. No, it whispered. You just don't remember. The voice chat disconnected. The player list refreshed. Builder was gone. I looked around the rooftop, completely empty. Then another name appeared in the player list. It wasn't Builder. It was my own username, listed twice. One copy showed my normal avatar icon. The second profile picture was completely gray. Neither of them had left the game. For several seconds, I couldn't move. I blinked. The player list still showed 3 entries. My username again, and nothing else. I clicked the second profile. Profile unavailable. I clicked mine. It opened normally. I clicked the gray one again. Another error. I laughed nervously. Just another bug. The words sounded weak, even to me. I closed the player list and looked around the rooftop. Empty. The folding chair hadn't moved. The city stretched endlessly beneath me, lit by thousands of streetlights. It should have looked beautiful. Instead, it felt abandoned, like a photograph taken after everyone had vanished. I decided it was time to leave. I'd seen enough. I pressed ask. Nothing happened. I pressed it again. Still nothing. I tried opening the Roblox menu with the icon in the corner. It wasn't there. The top bar had disappeared. No settings, no leave button, no reset option. I reached for Alt plus F4. Nothing. My desktop didn't appear. The game didn't freeze. It simply ignored every command. For the first time that night, I wasn't sure I could leave. Trying not to panic, I walked back toward the stairwell. The rooftop door slammed shut before I reached it. The sound echoed across the empty city. I grabbed the handle. Locked. I hadn't heard a lock click. It simply wouldn't open. Behind me, a notification appeared in chat. Builder, wrong way. I spun around. No one. The message disappeared almost instantly. I opened the chat history. There was nothing there, as if it had never been sent. The lights across the city flickered once. Then again, the sky, which had been a dull gray since I joined, slowly darkened. Not like sunset, more like someone lowering a dimmer switch over the entire world. One building after another went black, until only the apartment building I stood on remained illuminated. Everything else disappeared into darkness. I had the strange feeling that the city wasn't getting darker. The darkness was getting closer. A metallic ding echoed behind me. The rooftop elevator. I hadn't noticed it before. Its doors were open. Warm yellow light spilled into the night. I knew I shouldn't get inside. Every horror movie begins with someone making that exact mistake. But the locked stairwell left me with only one choice. I stepped into the elevator. The doors closed immediately. There were no buttons, no floor numbers, only a cracked security mirror hanging on one wall. I looked at my reflection. My avatar stared back. Normal. Then I blinked. For less than a second. My reflection didn't. It kept looking straight ahead. I told myself I'd imagined it. Then it smiled. Not my avatar. The reflection. A slow, unnatural smile spread across its square face. I instinctively stepped backward. The reflection didn't. It stayed exactly where it was. Watching me, the elevator lights flickered. When they came back, the smile was gone. The elevator stopped with a heavy thud. The doors opened. Instead of another floor, there was only a long hallway. The walls were smooth gray concrete. The ceiling lights buzzed softly. Every few meters, identical metal doors lined both sides. Each door had a number. 1, 2, 3, 4. They continued farther than I could see. I walked toward the nearest one. Room 001, locked. Room 02, locked. Room 003, unlocked. Inside was another apartment, exactly like the one I'd searched earlier. Same furniture, same photographs, same missing faces. But something had changed. One photo hadn't been scratched out. It showed a single Roblox avatar sitting at a computer. The image was blurry. I leaned closer. The avatar was wearing the exact same outfit I was wearing now. My new outfit, not the old one. The picture had been taken from behind. Someone else had taken it. Someone standing inside the room. I slowly turned around. The apartment was empty, yet I couldn't shake the feeling that someone had just stepped out. A faint static crackled through my headset. Voice chat had reconnected. No breathing this time, only silence. Then, a child quietly asked, "Did you find your room?" I froze. "What?" No answer. The child spoke again. "You always forget." The microphone icon disappeared. A loud slam echoed from the hallway. Another, then another. One by one, every apartment door began closing on its own. The sound moved toward me, like dominoes falling. Door after door, closer, closer, closer. I ran into the hallway. The slamming continued. The lights overhead blinked. Every time they went out, the hallway seemed slightly longer. Every time they came back, more doors had appeared. Then I noticed something that made my stomach drop. The room numbers had changed. 01, 038, 19, 642. The numbers no longer made sense. They skipped randomly, as if new rooms were being created faster than I could count them. At the far end of the corridor stood a figure. Gray shirt.
Blue pants.
No face. It didn't move. I stopped running. So did it. I took one cautious step. The figure copied me. Another step. Again. It wasn't approaching. It was mirroring me perfectly. Then the lights flickered one last time. When they returned, there wasn't one figure anymore. There were dozens. Every doorway now contained a silent, faceless avatar, all wearing the same gray clothes, all standing perfectly still, all facing me. At the exact same moment, every head tilted to the side. The chat box opened by itself. Letters appeared one at a time. I wasn't typing. Neither was anyone else. Welcome back. Another line appeared beneath it. Your save file is ready.